Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's Mary, and this is this week's edition of 90 Days in 900 Seconds, Season 10, Episode 9, To Have and to Hold. And let me tell you, I do not want to have or hold any of these couples, with the exception of Sam and Citra, and that's only because we just got to introduce to them this episode. Besides that, who knows? By next week, I might not want to have and hold them either. So, if I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a solid C, and that's only for Sam and Citra. This season has been a real sleeper. These couples are boring AF, and I don't know, guys. I'm taking one for the team. Let's set 900 seconds on the timer and hop right in. So we're starting off with Nikki and Igor. And if I was Igor, I would be suing Sharp Entertainment, TLC, Nikki, and anyone else I could think of for sexual harassment. Because every freaking week, Nikki is harassing him for sex, and it is cringy and painful to freaking watch. So we start off, the two of them are drinking huge glasses of wine, and before you know it, Nikki is straddling him and basically like demanding sex from the guy. Like I said, cringy, cringy AF. She's sexually harassing him every freaking episode, and he is just not into it. I mean, wouldn't you not be into somebody harassing you every 5 minutes for ass? Like, come on, please let the guy breathe. So, anyway, he gave in again. So now their sex count is up to 2. They're actually keeping count. They have a sex counter. So it is up to 2. Okay. But Nikki's still not satisfied. Nikki's not happy when she gets ass. Nikki's not happy when she doesn't get ass. Okay. So apparently, he woke her up at 3 a.m. Okay. And it was kind of like a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am thing. No cuddling, no foreplay. He just like woke her up and it was over. Nikki's not happy about that, and Nikki, she can't help to think it's because she's trans that Igor just wants to do the wham bam, thank you, ma'am. So Igor admits that sometimes when they argue and when things get heated, that he sees, he gets man vibes from her. And that's a real turnoff. And when he said that, I was just like, whoa. But that's his true feelings, And when he gets those man vibes, he can't get intimate. That's a real turnoff for him. He can't mess around with a man. That's just a real turnoff. And Nikki, needs to soften and not be so manly in those moments. She needs to be a nice woman. His words, not mine. Okay. So, and he said Nikki and all of her masculine energy could be a real turnoff. This is Igor's true feelings. Okay. And Nikki will block all this out and still straddle him and sexually harass him because she wants ass. And Nikki's feelings is the only thing that matters. Don't you know that? So Nikki is still upset with him because Igor doesn't post her on his social media. Okay. So this upsets Nikki very much. And he's like, I've introduced you to my family. I've introduced you to my friends. I let you rename me. What more do you want from me? Nikki, like one thing at a time, like relax. And I get where he's coming from because she is pushy. When she's not straddling him, demanding sex, she's throwing all these other demands at him. And it's like, Nikki, What have you done for him lately besides give him money and straddle him and demand sex constantly? Honestly. So, anyway, Igor's right. She does look for things to pick fights, but she did find something out. Oh, yes, she did. She found out that while she applied for the K1 visa in June, Igor was still screwing around. But we're going to get to that in a minute because I want to discuss this wine tasting scene. First of all, Rohan, the wine tasting instructor, I demand that he gets a raise, a bonus, and an all expenses paid vacation for tolerating that bullshit. Okay. First of all, not only did Nikki and Igor get fucking smashed off their asses, but yeah, they were affectionate, but they were disgustingly affectionate, especially when Nikki was sipping this pink wine and she mentioned that the wine was pink like both sets of her lips. I thought Rohan, the poor wine tasting instructor, was going to spit out his wine and crawl under the table and like crawl out the door. Okay, the poor guy, his facial expressions were priceless. Nikki was literally trying to eat Igor's face off as she was kissing him. Okay, the two of them, like I said, were fucking wasted off their asses. And it was just, yeah. Okay, so the day after, they're hungover. They go out for coffee. And this is when Nikki realized that even though she was in a relationship with Igor, Igor wasn't necessarily in a relationship with her. Okay, he wasn't taking things seriously until August when he put the ring on her finger. Okay, so in June, when she applied for the K1 visa, he was still in like these friendly relationships because in Moldova, did you know in Moldova that male and female friendships, they also involve sex? You know, I mean, you don't have feelings, you just have friendly sex. So that's what was going on because, you know, things weren't that serious between him and Nikki because there wasn't a ring on Nikki's finger. So once he put the ring on Nikki's finger in August, then all of these friendly sexual friendships that he was having, they all ended. But, you know, these things are customary in Moldova, you know? You have a female friend and you guys have sex. Did you know that? Yeah. I wonder if Andre knows this. I don't know. So apparently that's the way things go. And Nikki's like, hold up. Wait a minute. I didn't know this. And I don't know if I want to continue on. So that's where we are with Nikki and Igor. So Sophie and Rob. Okay, so they are going bowling with his friends Ty and Tarai. Now, you know, Tarai already has a bad impression of Sophie because of the whole dating app thing, and he swears that she was looking, you know, she wasn't looking for friends and whatever. Okay, so they start questioning her about looking through Rob's phone. But Rob left out the important part that he was online cheating. So basically, Rob made Sophie out like she was a crazy lunatic girlfriend looking through his phone and flipping out for no reason, and kind of left out the big important part that he was being a dirty knob and cheating on her and all these, you know, dirty Snapchat videos like Sophie explained to them. And they were like, dude, you left out this important detail. And of course, Rob, being the knob that he is, this nickname is very suiting for him, okay? Was trying to twist the whole narrative to make himself the victim. Something about It was like blood was spilled in the water and they were the sharks going for the blood. No, Rob, you're the asshole that lied to your friends, that tried to make Sophie look like the crazy girlfriend going through your phone for no reason and blah, 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 blah. And it bit you in the ass. That's what happened there. But now, Sophie calls her friend in England and tells her friend Maya that Rob cheated on her again. Okay, that the same shit that happened before happened again. And Maya's like, Sophie, you really have to think about what you're doing because, are you really going to be happy on your wedding day? Or are you just going to be miserable and you're just doing this because you're in the States already? You really have to think about this. And by the way, Sophie, my friend, did you tell Rob that you were bi yet? And Sophie's like, with all the issues that have been going on since I've gotten here, no, I haven't had a chance. But you know something? I know I need to tell him ASAP. So her and Rob are going ring shopping. And she has this fantasy, even though they are living in an apartment that doesn't have indoor plumbing, that he could afford at least a $5,000 ring. Girl, I would rather him take that $5,000 and get an apartment with indoor plumbing, but that's just me. Anyway, so before they go out ring shopping, Sophie decides that this is the time that she's going to tell him, okay? And she immediately has a panic attack. And she's like, I have to go outside. I can't breathe. She starts to cry. Rob is like, what is going on? So, the wheels in his head are turning. And he is thinking of every worst case scenario of what the fuck is going on. So he goes outside and he's like, what is happening? Why are you crying? And she tells him, I have something to tell you. Don't worry. It has nothing to do with my loyalty. I haven't did you dirty. I have something to tell you. So she says, I'm going to say it once. I don't want to say it twice. I'm just going to spit it out. I'm bi. And he says, like I'm bisexual. And I saw a tweet. I posted it as one of the tweets of the week. Fucking hysterical. No, as in bicycle, motherfucker. Like, yes. Okay, Rob, please. Don't be a knob. So she's like, yes, as in bisexual. And he's just sitting there. He's looking at her. And he's like, and he's picturing her and another chick in bed with him. He is. But he's sitting there looking at her. The longest pause. And then he says, I don't know what to say about this. But we shall see next week what he's going to say about it. Okay. Anyway. So now we get introduced to Sam and Citra. Sam is from Missouri. Okay. And he has had his issues in the past. He has had addiction issues. And he's lived that rough addiction life, but he managed to pull himself out of it. He's relapsed a few times, but now it's more important for him to stay clean than ever because his girlfriend, Citra from Indonesia, his fiance, not girlfriend, fiance, Citra from Indonesia, will be joining him in the United States soon. Sam is a retail dock worker. He works long hours, and he met Citra on a dating app. He finally was able to see her in Indonesia, and it was like they knew each other forever. Now, Citra is a devout Muslim, and her dad is a policeman. Her dad put the fear of God in Sam, and they have not had sex, and they will not have sex until they get married. Citra is arriving in the United States in 4 days. Her dad is arriving a few days after, and they are going to get married within 2 weeks. Sam has a lot of pressure on him. Did I mention that Sam is a atheist, and Sam's dad does not believe in God at all, that he believes in aliens. He believes that aliens are going to come and pick him up and take him off. Yeah. This is going to be real interesting. Now, all I have to say is Sam has a lot to prove within a short time period. And I have a feeling Quita's dad is that this is going to be a very interesting dynamic. But we shall see. Now, Devin and Nick, I had so much hope for them, but Nick, oh boy. It's like read the room, dude. Read the room. Okay. So they spent the night at a hotel near the airport. And when they leave, Devin's parents tell Nick, take a look around at the tall buildings, because once we cross the bridge, there won't be tall buildings for a long time. And they were right. Okay, so Nick is like, when I was thinking, when I always thought about America, I thought about places like New York and California. You know, I never pictured, you know, places like Starsea, you know, and Devin brings him home. There are 6 people that live in Devin's parents' house. She lives with her sisters and her brother. And Nick is realizing that he's going to have a hard time for privacy. Then Devin gives him a tour of the town. And, you know, they check out the local artwork that's on the walls. Devin shows him the mural that she did of a skateboarder. You know, it's kind of old. The paint's peeling. And Devin, you know, admits that Starsea is very, very white, you know. And she shows him the local Confederate soldier statue that's in the middle of town. And Nick is realizing that, you know, the town might not be too tolerable of him. And, you know, it might not be a good idea for them to be there for the long term. So now Nick and his new family are making fried catfish and chips. So Devin's father is showing Nick how to fry the catfish, and they're having this get together in the backyard. So someone asks Nick, so what do South Koreans think about Americans when they think, you know, about Americans? So he looks at them, looks around, and says, fat, greasy foods, lazy, fast foods. And everyone's like, and he's like, no, I don't think that, but you know, that's what South Koreans think. Then he turns to Devin and he's like, you know, like you, piggy. And he pats her stomach and he's like you're lazy, you have fast food, that's why you're piggy. And he pats her stomach in front of her parents, her family, everybody sitting there at the table. You could tell by her body language, she is so uncomfortable. She probably wants to punch him in the head. But he continues, and it's like, whoa, dude, read the room. And honestly, she has told you that she doesn't like the piggy nickname. Give it up already. Okay, dude. And another couple that just needs to give it up altogether. But you know, they won't. It's Ashley and Manuel. I'm so sick of these two. I'm so sick of Ashley's high school Spanish and how she is butchering the Spanish language. I don't even know what to do anymore. Okay, so Manuel had stormed out of the candle store because he doesn't like being questioned by Ashley's friends. And he is sick of it, and he's not going to take it anymore. So he walked all the way home again for the second time this season. Okay, Manuel has walked all the way home, and now he is sitting there. He's watching soccer, and he wants Ashley to leave him alone. Okay, he's sitting there. He has the phone in front of him like this, and Ashley walks in, and Ashley, in her horrible high school Spanish, like, you can't run around the city, Manuel. She sounds like his mom. You can't run around the city, Manuel. Something's going to happen to you. You cannot do this. You have to stop doing this, Manuel. And Manuel's basically like, I don't give a fuck. I'm watching soccer. Leave me alone. I'm watching soccer. So Ashley's like, Manuel, you have to stop this. And Manuel's like, your friends need to stop questioning me. I don't need to answer to your friends. I want to watch soccer. I don't give a fuck. Okay, basically. So after they get into this huge fight about how Manuel is not going to answer to anyone, to Ashley's friends, to Ashley for that matter. I mean, come on. He might as well have said that. Ashley decided, because tension is really, really thick in the air, really, really thick in the air, okay? Instead of sending his ass back home to Ecuador, she is going to take him out. They're going to do a little bit of wedding planning, okay? And she's going to take him out to get something called the garbage plate, okay? Now, Manuel says that food in America has already fucked up his stomach. He has spent 60% of his time in the bathroom since he's arrived here, okay? And I feel him because I spend 60% of my time in the bathroom, and I've been born and raised here, okay? So he misses, his homemade food from Ecuador, a good ceviche. I mean, he's missing the good food. So Ashley takes him to this place where they are famous for something called the garbage plate. Are you ready for this shit, guys? Listening to what was on this thing, my stomach literally did a somersault, a backflip, a handstand, and God knows what. Okay, listen to the shit. The first layer is home fries and macaroni salad. The second layer is cheeseburgers and hot dogs, topped off by a third layer of meat sauce, onions, and mustard. Let that sink in. Let the heartburn crawl up your throat. And yes, this is what Ashley takes Manuel, who is already complaining that he is spending 60% of his time in the bathroom, okay, to eat. And then she dumps ketchup all over this concoction. Manuel takes one bite and he's like, what the fuck is this? Okay. Ashley's digging all into it. Ashley's loving this shit. And my stomach is doing somersaults and everything you could think of. I'm like, oh my God. I was getting ready to go and sit on the toilet watching them eat this. I'm like, holy shit. Okay. So Ashley asks him, what kind of food would you like at the wedding? And he's like, oh, I would like a nice ceviche with some rice and some plantain chips. So she decides a destination wedding in Florida is the perfect solution to this, okay? So she looks up some tickets, West Palm Beach, I think it was, $259 round trip per person, okay? After taxes and fees and blah, 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 it comes out to $600 and change. And Manuel's like, what? But you said it was $259. And he's like not feeling this because for $2,000 in Ecuador, you could get a big party, 50 to 100 guests, lots of food and everything. And he doesn't understand why that they're going to spend all this money. And Ashley is willing to go into a little depth because it's a wedding. You only get married once. And yeah, she's willing to go into a little depth for the memories. But Manuel doesn't understand because not for nothing, this money that she's going to spend, like the $600 on the plane tickets, just give it to him. And he can send it home to his wife and kids in Ecuador. Not for nothing. So Ashley is like trying to convince him that this is the way to go. He's getting aggravated. He doesn't want to hear it. The next scene, Ashley takes him to Lake Ontario, okay? Because she wants to show him, there's nature here too in Rochester. It's not all just buildings and city, and we have nature here too. And he's happy. He's like, oh my God, this is the happiest I've ever been since I've landed. That says a lot, okay? So he's, Ashley's trying to get to the root of really what's wrong. And he's like, I miss my country. I miss everybody. I miss everything. Mostly my wife and kids that you don't know about. He didn't say that, but that's what he was thinking. And, Ashley is just, and Ashley's just like, I understand that you're stressed. I understand everything. I just want to, reach a compromise. And this line cracked me up. He said, if she wants to marry me, she's buying the package. She has to buy the full package. If I was Ashley, I would have returned the package back to sender a long time ago. Okay, please. But for some reason, Ashley wants to keep the package. She wants to buy the package. She's going to go into depth to make memories for a wedding with this package. And she's going to send money back home for this package. So, I don't know. Whatever makes her happy. So, he's happy. And he's floating in the lake on his back like a big baby. So, that's how things ended. I don't know, guys. This season is dragging along. I'm hoping Sam and Citra will put some oomph into it. We shall see. And that's basically it. Thank you for watching me, guys. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit that like button. Share my video with a friend or 10. And please consider joining my membership for $6 a month. It's a pretty good deal for some great content. There should be a join button on my banner and a link in my description bar. Thank you so much for watching me. Bye.